and welcome to a interior roofing tutorial. This might not be something you actually thought you would ever use, and personally I really would never have thought of it if it wasn't for recreating the Winchester Mist floor here. It's got a brightly coloured carpet just so we can see the difference between the three different floors. And I've started by just building a room, going around the area where I want the roof to be. So as carry on, we're going to get the roof, and we cannot put the roof in here because it's an enclosed room. So we open this room up. However, we still have a room on the outside, so it's still enclosed. So we have to open it up again, and we get lots of light flood in here. And this basically means that there is no enclosed room. So that means we can use it for roofing. So we'll put our roof in here. And as you can see, we've got this part here that's gone invisible. That's because it goes up to the floor above. If we don't want this, we just size it down to how we would like it. So from here, it would be tempting to close these rooms up because you're like, yeah, we've got our roof. Unfortunately, it's not that easy or simple. So basically, the minute we enclose this room, it doesn't allow us to then have the roof. To solve this, we can add fencing around the outside. So we can have fencing as a room and it recognises it as a room, but it doesn't get rid of the roof as we enclose it. So this room is now enclosed, and so we can then put our wall back over here, and we still have our roof, which is sitting there nicely and happily. However, if we want a glass roof, we need to maybe size it down a little bit so we can see the floor. So we've got the floor of the area that we want to see through, and we can just use the sledgehammer tool and delete the whole of the floor. So you can see we've got the red floor through there. So from here, if we cover it back over and switch the roof to glass, we can see the red floor through the roof. If you don't want this fencing, the fencing is used on the mystery house because that's how it looked and it was the best way to recreate it, but we don't actually need to keep the fencing. So we can also remove the fencing. It still recognises it as its own separate room, and if we try to come over here, it does see the divide in both of the rooms still. So this is the first roof. It's quite a simple idea, and yet trying to figure it out can be a bit of a nuisance. I'm going to start by going to the roof and deciding if we use fencing for this. So I've got this nice space here, so I'm going to say this is where I'm going to open it up. And it's easier to do it this way because then we can copy this, and if we go down, it will show us the position of the original one. So when making this roofing, it is obviously a good idea to do it this way, although it's a little bit temperamental as well. So once we've got this on in the correct position, which I'm really hoping it is, although knowing me it likely isn't, we can delete this room and it should come down into the same position. And then we do this again and go down the next floor. And I'm just adjusting this because I'm pretty sure that was not correct. It is easier to do with walls, and as you can see now, we've got this. We've actually got a little overlay on these here as well, on the roofing, where it comes out. So this area we want to enclose, so we have the interior and exterior as well. And we also want to do the same here too. I've probably gone the longest way about this, but it's also the easiest to demonstrate the simplicity of it. So by doing this, we can then open this part up, and hopefully the surprisingly as well, they match. So they match nice and perfectly. The usual, and open it up just to give access to everything. And we get our roof. Got a different type roof this time apparently, that doesn't really matter. You can do this with all of the roofing, and we can close it up. Now obviously because we want to close it with a wall, we can, and add glass to the rim, but first I'm going to make it like this. Doing it this way, so you've noticed this time we haven't had to delete the floor. It has direct access from the top. So if we want this top part to be enclosed, it can be, and we want to sort of let the light in here, or maybe we've got an even bigger form, we want to come all the way down to the bottom. We can still add in our windows and everything as you would like. Apparently not that size window, so we can add the windows in here as well, so you can sort of look out at these and look down. And we can also have it so we have a courtyard. If we close this part up, try to close this part up, and it's a lot easier with the walls because we've got the matching yellow line, and then it's sort of like it lets light into that courtyard. Really hope you enjoyed the tutorial, or maybe it got a creative spark going, especially with ideas of indoor swimming pools or courtyards. And I really hope this inspired you or helped you with your build. And everybody stay awesome, keep simming, and really enjoy building.